One question I am asked all the time is, I've been told I'm supposed to reach out to the government. Government contracting is like a nose-to-nose personal kind of thing. What does that mean? How do I reach out? I tried, I sent an email, I called, I didn't hear back. Can you help me? What does that really mean? In essence, there are thousands upon thousands of federal government contractors out there. In order for an agency to know who you are, you have to respond to requests for proposals, requests for quotes, requests for information, sources sought, market research. The list goes on, where they see or hear about you. Otherwise, they're not going necessarily on Google. Maybe they come across you on LinkedIn. Chances are they're not. So one way the federal government gets to know you is through a capability brief. That is in where you present information about your company, efforts you worked on in the past, with the hopes of them potentially thinking of you for opportunities, introducing you to other stakeholders. Ultimately, the goal is to increase the number of advocates that you have so you can win profitable government contracts. Before you can even get that meeting, you have to reach out to them and be persistent. These different government employees, they have other duties. Their full-time duty is not to just take emails and phone calls from you. Even someone in a small business office, they have metrics, they have tracking, there's reporting that they have to do. It's not to answer every single question that you have, right? So I'm going to show you a script that has been used in the past with government agencies, and you can tweak this to use on the phone. Chances are they're not going to ever respond to you, but you can't get discouraged. You're going to email and you're going to call. I call this dialing for dollars. You're going to email and you're going to call. You also can sprinkle in there requesting to connect with them on LinkedIn. Don't get discouraged. It happened to me too. Oh my gosh, so many times in the early years, I would call and email and nobody would call me back. And I was like, forget that. I'll just keep the work that I have. And I just didn't understand. It wasn't until way late in the 8A process in which I really saw the power of dialing for dollars, and it changed everything. So what you're going to need to do is get a list of government point of contacts for the agencies that you are pursuing. There are quick and easy ways to do this. On acquisition.gov, there's a list of small business reps. Also, here's a bonus tip. Anytime you're taking a look at opportunities, chances are there are one, if not two, contracting officers listed on that particular opportunity. Those are people you can contact to request a capability brief, so long as you are not responding to an RFP, okay? Because these are government employees, their email addresses are pretty much out there. But because of everything with COVID, their phone numbers, not so much, because many are still working from home. So what you're going to want to do is take this template, feel free to customize it to make it sound like you. By all means, do that. What you're going to want to do in an email to a government point of contact. Number one, do not mass email them. So you're going to want to send literally one email at a time, and this is from your business email account. Second thing is you're going to want to emphasize the number of years of experience and in what industry or industries. Or you could say we provide services in, or we resell electronics. But definitely you want to start out with, hey, this is what we do. Okay. And then you go in and talk about, we've had other contracts, similar scope and magnitudes, satisfied clients, customers we've worked for. Let's say you've never had a government client in your entire life. That's fine. You could list Pepsi, Coca-Cola. You could list Department of Transportation in Florida or whatever. Just list some names there because it shows them, hey, they have past experience. Also, in this section, you can list a dollar amount. You could list the size as far as the number of people. You could completely remove this if it's not going to really highlight you. The whole point is to grab their attention and highlight your business so that they are willing to set up a capability brief with you and or connect you with someone who's interested in having a capability brief, or connect you with maybe a different small business rep so you can learn about some different outreach events or some type of one-on-one or anything of that nature. The goal of this email is not that you're going to get a profitable contract just from this email. The goal of this email is to be known. That's the goal, to be known. It's a foot in the door. That's what this is. From there, if someone says, yeah, I would love to have a capability brief with you, now this is your chance to really convince them and start to grow that trust. You're sprinkling all the seeds for trust. And so that they can see like, oh, wow, you're a go-getter. And oh my gosh, you offer engineering services. This is great. Man, you received an award for it. Wow, this is phenomenal. Oh, and by the way, you're woman-owned or you're an 8A, you're service disabled. That's the intent, is you're stacking. This is a stacking moment so that ultimately you're creating your own ocean. So if an opportunity comes up around engineering, they think of you. So they bypass Sam, and perhaps it becomes a simplified acquisition and it goes to you. Feel free to also use a version of this over the phone, especially when you call. You're going to have to be really fast, straight to the point, and pick up on the non-verbals kind of as you're talking, the tone, just if you can sense just how they're feeling through the phone. There are some government employees that out the gate have said to me, oh, we're going to work together. I know this. We're going to work together. And guess what? We work together. There are others that are very strict by the book, and they're like, hey, you go to this website, you sign here, you do this. And it's like, okay, well, that's great. I mean, it's still really helpful, but every single government employee that you encounter is going to be a little different. But what's important is that you really emphasize your bottom line up front, who you are, what you do. You want to keep planting those seeds. Before you know it, you're going to win more profitable contracts if you already are winning government contracts, or you're going to win your very first profitable federal government contract. Why? Because you're a GovCon winner. That's why you're here. You're not a GovCon loser. You are a winner. You're amazing. You can do this. You got it. You have Coach Kizzy, Dr. Parks with the amazing hair. I'm here for it. Okay. Subscribe, comment, click that notification button, and don't forget, y'all know everything is possible.